New York, it's Get Off My Lawn with Gavin McInnes.
A British man randomly chose a building to hold some people hostage because he has a sister who's incarcerated. Sound reasonable, Ryan?
Okay, so far so good, right?
Yeah, it's just a British guy. I don't know how he got in here. Maybe he's here on a visa or he's just working here. A British man has a sister in prison. He randomly just threw a dart at a map, ended up at a building, and said, "Oi, I want my sis out of jail and everything. What are you doing then? What are you mucking about?" Sir, that's a rabbi. What's a rabbi? A rabbit? What was this, a fucking Geico commercial? And that's what the media told us. Go to 1-5. Actually, no, they did better than that. Initially, before we found out it was a British person, we had people on Twitter telling us what it was. And if you go up above that, so this guy, I Smoked Trump's Seditious Conspiracy, this black activist named Black Knight 10K, said that it was Nazis. And then people go, it wasn't a Nazi, it was a British guy. So now he's pissed off at them because they're white supremacists. And he says, please stop demanding that I apologize to the Nazis, thinking they would attack a synagogue after they've attacked a number of synagogues. Have they really, though? I think there's been like 3 globally. There's Philadelphia, there's another one, then there was New Zealand, Christchurch.
And Proud Boys were not behind those.
Correct, Ryan.
Were they Nazis, though? Because the one guy
Christchurch was a Nazi.
But he also espoused leftist ideology, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never as simple as just Nazi. So this is the British man.
Hello.
Hello.
He looks like an upside-down beef eater.
What are you doing? He looks like one of those drawings that, you can flip upside down. It looks the same both ways. Hello. Fancy, you want to grab a pint? Fancy a cup of tea? What time is it? Oh, fuck, it's 5 o'clock. It's time for tea. Then we'll go round the pub after tea. Agreed? All right, guys. Don't muck about. What are you doing? Sound as a pound. Hello.
I believe his name is and his friend Withnail. This is the and I.
So that guy says it was a Nazi, and then another fat dude, incel loser who's never even seen a tit in real life, he uses an anime. That's the initial picture you had up there. An anime icon. There's few things that make me more skeeved out than big fat gamers with female Asian avatars. Ugh. I personally believe it was the Proud Boys. I personally believe the Proud Boys staged the whole thing and posed as Islamic terrorists in order to start a war and distract from January 6th investigation. I am betting we'll see a lot more of this. Great theory that you came up with sitting on your ass. I don't know what she's talking about or he's talking about Islam for. It was a man with a British accent, as we learned from Yahoo. They made it very clear. Synagogue hostage-taking suspect was British. Thanks, Grayson. Or even Gun and Survival. You'd think they'd be pretty right-wing and not scared of bigotry, but they wanted us to know that a quote-unquote terrorist had a British... Dude, they've changed that. That didn't used to say that. Okay. God damn it, I hate the fucking internet. These articles become amorphous blobs. And I know this because whenever I would get, I remember this woman, Amanda Marcotte, she called me a Nazi. And I spent a bunch of money on a lawyer, which I'm doing again now. I'm back to lawfare. I'm suing that, Stanford, for that stupid study that said Proud Boys are responsible for 2 deaths and premeditated violence. I sent her a lawyer letter today. Elizabeth Yates is her name. These people have to start suffering consequences for their made-up bullshit. Although it's expensive. But yeah, with Amanda, I spent all this money, thousands of dollars, change that. Eventually you get through to them, and it just becomes money for them. They don't actually care about the truth. So eventually they just change it, and the sentence is gone. There's no written update, and 98% of the people who read the article read it in the first, half hour it's up. So 2-3 days later, the Nazi's gone.
In the finest print possible, it does say updated.
Oh, there we go, a little tiny update.
Cool.
And then let's see if the Guardian has updated theirs. They were concerned about an English accent. Texas synagogue siege, hostage taker named as 44-year-old Briton. Hello. I'm really starting to hate these British people. Why are they so anti-Semitic? And then, of course, the Telegraph is happy to Man with English accent holds Are you seeing a pattern here? It's England. By the way, was he Welsh or Scottish? That's the first time I've seen England. Usually they say British. Of course, we know that Great Britain is 4 provinces, right? It's Northern Ireland, it's Wales, it's Scotland and England. Very different cultures. And then this AP, they deleted this one. The FBI says the Texas synagogue hostage takers' demands were specifically focused on issue not connected to the Jewish community. Just a random issue. He just chose a synagogue. I don't know. It could have been Walmart. Could have been Costco. It's just a British guy with an axe to grind. Holy fuck. I saw another tweet where they go, the real problem here is that people, not Muslims, people are being taught that Jews control the world. Because one thing this British man did was he demanded they talk to a rabbi in New York. Like the New York Jews would be able to get her out better than the Texas Jews, because the New York Jews have more power and Jews control the world, according to this British man's thing. And so the Jewish guy tweeting was like, we need to stop these bullshit myths because people are starting to believe that Jews control the world, and that's the problem with these anti-Semitic tropes. And no. The problem is that the hostage taker is an inbred Pakistani retard.
Holy shit.
Yep.
It's not the trope that's the issue. It's the genetics of the hostage taker and his cunt sister, Miss Lady Al-Qaeda, I think they call her, who shot at Marines and had a plot to kill innocent Americans and wouldn't shut up about Jews her entire trial. When she was arrested, she said, this decision doesn't come from America. It comes from Israel. Textbook definition Nazi. You got there. You're looking for anti-Semitism? It's there. It's growing. It's alive and well, as they say about racism in Islam. But
and I think I know why.
I don't like that. I want it to be Gavin McInnes. I like that kind of Nazi. I don't like Muslim Nazis. Okay. Well, they're there. And this dummy is probably the result of inbreeding. Not that Islam's off the hook here. I'm just saying to say that it's anti-Semitic tropes is trying to bring it back to MAGA and like conservatives and alleged Nazis. No, this is pure Islam. From his low IQ and his disastrous decisions, right up to the anti-Semitism, all of it, the jail, the belief that I can get these hostages out of there. Get my prisoner out of jail. That's worked before. Remember in the Olympics when they kidnapped those Filipinos and the Filipino government said, release all the jihadists, release them, which is what weak countries do. But no, we just can't handle it when it's not a white guy doing the bad stuff. And this story, it happened on the weekend. It's Monday today. It'll be gone. It'll be gone by today. I guarantee you won't see shit about the story tomorrow. Guaranteed. Including Jewish newspapers. I bet the Forward is totally ignoring this. Haaretz is totally going to ignore this.
That was too much of indecence.
It's just like the car. Remember the car that plowed through a parade? Fucking cars. So, my takeaway... That's 2-0. My takeaway from this, 5 dead after car. I officially hate cars and British people because they're murderers. I dream of a world without cars or British people. Oh, wait, no, actually it was a Muslim. So, of course, the New York Post is one of the only places to admit this. The New York Post is known as a right-wing newspaper, and it's just basic liberal, like they call Proud Boys white supremacists all the time. U.S. Muslim leader calls on community to confront anti-Semitism problem. His life's in danger for saying that, I guarantee it. And I'd love to see this not just from Muslims, but from black leaders too. Like, we got to stop rioting. I'm looking at these people stealing UPS packages off trains. We're turning into the third world. That used to be a thing in the 90s. Yo, we need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Stop the violence. KRS-One and even Chuck D would scream, we got to be proud Africans. Stop this. We need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Not anymore. Now it's all Gavin's fault. And then here's an interview with a rabbi. Can I say something super gay and weak?
Mm-hmm.
If I was the rabbi and I was being held hostage, one of my fears would be, what if I get so scared I faint? Like someone's holding a gun to your head. He talks about he hears the click, and you want to help. You're basically the leader as the rabbi. You're the captain of the ship. So you want to help everyone get out of there. We all want to think we'd be Rambo in that situation. Grab the gun, turn around, be a total hero. Yes, you don't need to plan for that. You don't need to plan to win. You need to plan to lose. And part of me would be scared of just being such a pussy that, I don't know, my heart starts pounding so fast I faint. I mean, I've seen guys in the gym sparring, not even real fights, but sparring, and they have a panic attack mid-fight and have to stop because they can't breathe. That's sparring where you have headgear on, you know you'll be safe. But, the brain works in mysterious ways. You get fight or flight, and what if you just go, that might even be good. The hostage taker the British guy might freak out. This interview is super boring. I mean,
new details that are
sorry, the
emerging
guy's
about
not
the
exciting.
nearly 11-hour standoff at a Texas synagogue over the weekend. One of the 4 hostages, Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker, said on Facebook, quote, "I am grateful that we made it out. I'm grateful to be alive. We feel the same, Rabbi." CBS News has learned that the rabbi...
Let's count the number of times we hear the word Muslim and his jihadist sister, Lady Al-Qaeda. She doesn't have to be called Lady Al-Qaeda. You can name her name.
So far, they're mentioning the Jewish part. They call them rabbi. So it's not like they're just excluding.
Yeah, well, it's pretty hard to avoid when it's at a synagogue.
Yeah.
But what AP said was they just chose a synagogue. Could have been anywhere. Oh, this is a synagogue? I had no idea. I thought it was a Catholic church.
Spoke with President Biden yesterday. He joins us for an interview you're seeing first on CBS Mornings. Rabbi, good morning to you. We are so glad you're safe and able to be with us. You have no idea how happy we are to see you this morning.
Rabbi, can you help me blame this on white supremacy, please?
Negotiators that got you out. And so I want to know how you're processing all of this. I saw interviews with some of your congregation over the weekend that said it was terrifying just watching it. I can't imagine what it was like for you and your fellow hostages to be there.
Well, it was terrifying. It was overwhelming. And we're still processing. It's been a lot. It's completely overwhelming.
Yeah, I saw interviews with law enforcement officials who were crediting you with being so calm and collected during this time. How were you able to stay calm when you're dealing with someone who doesn't appear to mind dying?
Let's just stop. Wouldn't it be awesome if she mentioned that in jihad, you're a martyr if you die fighting jihad and you go to heaven with all the virgins and all that? I mean, Buchanan talks about that in The Death of the West. He says, the problem with fighting jihadists is for us to see a soldier die is a loss. And when we see the coffins come back off the airplane hangars with the American flags on them, it breaks our heart. For them, that's a win. I mean, you can't play a video game with someone like that. You can't do anything with someone like that. You have different values. No.
I guess you do what you have to do. As a part of rabbinic training, as a part of training as clergy, we talk a lot about the idea of being a calm, non-anxious presence. We do that in hospital rooms. We do that during the most
Anyway,
difficult...
this interview is in very slow motion. It's not worth sitting through. But our heart goes out to that guy, and we wish they would identify the enemies, which sort of brings us to Proud Boys. Are you done the new Proud Boys interstitial yet?
No, very close.
Okay. It's funny how Proud Boys are in prison. Max and John are in prison because they are part of a bigoted hate gang, and they're anti-Muslim. They're Islamophobes, and they don't support BLM, and they support the police. We can't have that. We need to defund the police. Black crime is not a thing, and you're racist if you think it is. And Black Lives Matter is working hard to both trivialize black crime and defund the police. We should support that. And what kind of asshole is an Islamophobe? And you go, okay, I'm glad you put the Proud Boys in prison. And it's not just Max and John. Let's go through those three things. We just had hostages at the synagogue by a Muslim who wanted to free a Muslim terrorist. And black crime is going through the fucking roof, and the police can't do anything about it because in the case of the trains in L.A., we've got a Soros-appointed DA who refuses to let law enforcement do their job. And here in New York, it's the same thing. I mean, we're told we got Eric Adams, Mr. Law and Order. He's the same as de Blasio. And we have some mental patient who threw an Asian woman in front of the train because he's God. But sorry, to go back to the hostage thing, where the fuck was the FBI? You're so worried about grandma. Go to 2-3. This is Donald Trump Jr.'s take on it. You're so worried about grandma meandering. Don't worry, guys. Our intelligence and federal law enforcement may be too busy to monitor foreign Islamic extremists, but rest assured, if your grandmother took a selfie somewhere within 1,500 miles of D.C. on J6, they're watching her closely if she hasn't been arrested already. Could do with slightly better grammar there, DTJ, but breaking, the FBI says the demands were specifically focused on issue not connected to the Jewish community. That's not true, AP. This jihadist, 100% of her sentencing was totally focused on Judaism. She blamed Israel for her sentence. So she's not just a random Islamic terrorist. She is an Islamic terrorist particularly focused on anti-Semitism. Oh, good. I was worried that Islamic extremist terrorists may have targeted a synagogue on purpose. It's so easy to mock at this point, you know? They are the clowns. They're the volunteer clowns. Just briefly, go back up to, what was it? Did I put it in here? So not everyone is on the same page with the agenda. They're dupes. They're cannon fodder. They're easy prey. They're useful idiots. And I think everyone I've listed here is a useful idiot. In the case of the Honor Jones, she's just a self-indulgent cunt who is just as useful as a useful idiot. And the last example I'm going to give of this is this fun new, well, not new, but relatively new, this fun new concept of vasectomies being awesome. Do it. I know a guy at my gym, Timmy, the guy who broke my ribs, by the way, and they're still broken from the telethon. He has 13 brothers and like 7 sisters, 20 siblings. And these people are like, I have 2 kids. That's already way too much. So men across America are getting vasectomies as an act of love. This is a stretch. This is going to take you a second to wrap your head around. I understand, like, the world's overpopulated. It's stupid and retarded. It's like going to the beach and washing one grain of sand and saying, I cleaned the beach. But I get it. It's just bad logic. But at least there's something there. But this is different than that. This is, with the right to abortion under threat, men say they want to play a role in reproductive planning to support their partners. So because women can't get abortions, we're going to make sure, I'm going to do my little tiny part in making sure women can't get pregnant. So I'm going to cut my balls off.
They are retarded, and in some ways, they're geniuses.
As long as state legislatures continue to restrict the reproductive rights of cis women, trans men... Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. I keep forgetting that gender doesn't exist. Okay. As long as state legislatures continue to restrict the reproductive rights of cis women, trans men, and non-binary people, those are the 3 groups that are hurt by abortion law, there should be laws that address the responsibility of men. Wait a minute, they fucked up.
They just said men.
They just said men.
Well, men could exist because you need somebody to blame.
No, but men who impregnate them. So they have, according to their own stupid rules, they should have had cis men. Dummies. You wrote cis women. That just shows you that they don't even believe this shit. Like a punk rocker would never accidentally say that Metallica are punk because he knows the rules. It's his culture.
It would feel weird.
It would feel unusual.
Yeah.
But if you're full of shit, then you're like lots of other punks like the Sex Pistols, Metallica, the Bee Gees. The responsibility of men. Who wrote this? Let's look them up. This is my favorite game. Thus, my bill will also... it's a politician saying that. Thus, my bill will also codify wrongful conception to include when a person has demonstrated negligence toward preventing conception during intercourse. Raab wrote in a memo about his proposal. So it's this Raab guy saying this. So I've been absolving these people of their crimes because... No, that's the fucking...
Is the author?
I've come across her a few times. She is a fucking nut.
She looks unwell, dude.
Look how much Adderall she's on in that other picture.
She has meth face.
And of course, she went to Columbia. Hey, when we start doing MOS stuff, man on the street stuff, I'm actually kind of strangely attracted to freaks like that, unfortunately. I'm not happy about my dick's proclivities. I know what you're thinking, and I'm as shocked as you that I want to fuck her.
There's the appealing Jewy look.
Yeah, I'm attracted to mentally ill Jews,
that's
unfortunately.
how they get you.
As a Nazi, it's a huge burden.
Zig, how you doing? I wish there was 6 million of you.
Zig, hello there.
Just kidding.
But earlier I've been saying that these people don't realize that they're dismantling the nuclear family, but we're up pretty high here if we're talking about a memo and a proposal. So who's this Rab cat?
Let's see this Rab cat.
Because I'm not absolving him of anything. We're at the top. And you can tell he's full of shit because he said cis women, but just men. So he likes shitting on men. Go back and just find like during intercourse and then find Rab and then scroll up and you'll see who the Rab is.
Got him. Okay.
Rab. Now scroll up and find a Rab. Chris Rab. Pennsylvania State Rep Chris Rab. And it's he introduced parity legislation. Oh, I love that. If men could have periods, tampons would be free.
Ooh.
You know that
this
old
guy.
So he's an affirmative action hire.
He looks like a Lin-Manuel Rucker. Darius Rucker Miranda.
Wait, what's the book he's promoting there? Race and Politics. Invisible Capital.
A metal spoon and a plastic spoon. I get it already.
Great book cover.
The
You can judge a
disparity.
book. I want to see what the book's about.
Okay. Invisible Capital.
You know you're lazy when you can only introduce parody bills to make some sort of dumb liberal studies, social bullshit academia thing. That's the kind of thing you do in college. I want to propose a fake parody government where kids rule and it's the parents who go to school. Womp womp. Switching it up to show you what's right in front of your
Nice
face.
webpage, mister.
Wow, this is great.
This is on.
I keep forgetting it's 1991.
Is this GeoCities? Sick.
Is this the internet the military invented? It's
Yeah.
how scientists can discuss various results. Coin the term invisible capital to represent those unseen forces that dramatically impact business, like systemic racism. Yeah, I love politicians telling us how to get rich.
That's impossible to never. You know, on the rape thing.
More on a rape thing.
I saw a great point where it's like having an abortion after a rape doesn't take away the fact that she was a rape victim. It doesn't undo the rape. So she walks in a victim, but she walks out a victim and a murderer. And I was like, got him. Great
I
point.
like your hair.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Thanks.
How do you get it like that? You dye it blonde first?
Well, first, I know this this person locally that they've been like going to beauty school. So like for free for a while, she was doing my hair because she was like in training. And then she just got her certification. So she's been charging me about like half price, but it's so worth it. I would pay full price for this. I mean, she got the roots good and the highlights look.
But the bangs are
okay,
still your
but-
old bangs.
With these?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're growing in my roots.
Why is the shot so rickety?
Riggedy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on my phone. Oh, that's really rigged.
Oh, so you're doing these on your phone.
Yes,
I see.
like this.
Oh, that's cool.
I look like Elad. Oh, let me ask you a question. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question? That's pretty good. He's such a nondescript man, but wow.